What's going on, everybody? It's Dylan from The Bottom Line View here for your Sunday Night Football recap, November 13th, 2016. The game just went off the air, and the Seattle Seahawks have defeated the New England Patriots 31-24. We had a lock-in game this week between me and Mitch, and I came out on top again. I'm 2-0-1 in lock-in games this week, so let's lock in to this review and recap. If you guys enjoy, of course, spike the like button. Always love when you guys do that. Comment below your thoughts on the Seahawks-Patriots game. I got the Zeke shirt on because the man is a beast. 1,005 yards. Pretty damn good for your first 9 games as a rookie. I just wanted to put that out there because somebody called me a bandwagon fan the last time I did this recap. And, I live in Dallas. I live and breathe Dallas for 17 years. So think before you comment, my man. Seahawks stats tonight. Russell Wilson, 25-37, 348 yards, not touchdowns, and 3 touchdowns. CJ Prosise, I don't even know how you pronounce that, Prosise, 17 carries for 66 yards, but he also had 7 receptions for 87 yards, so he was trying to do his best Ezekiel Elliott impression. Tyler Lockett, 3 receptions for 72 yards. Doug Baldwin had a big night, 6 receptions for 59 yards and 3 touchdowns. If he was on your fantasy football team, he had a pretty good night. And Richard Sherman had 1 fumble recovery. As for the New England Patriots, Tom Brady went 23-32, looked very good tonight, 316 yards, although he had 1 interception and did not have a touchdown. Legarrette Blount did have the touchdowns for the New England Patriots tonight. 21 carries, 69 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Martellus Bennett was the tight end to look forward to in Gronkowski tonight. 7 receptions for 102 yards. And Julian Edelman got in on the game. 7 receptions for 99 yards. Yeah, Rob Gronkowski was a big factor in the last drive. But we'll go ahead and talk. We'll talk about that in a little bit in this video. Tonight's game was actually a really fun one. Another classic in the books between the Patriots and the Seahawks. Of course, the last time these two teams played, we had the 1-yard catastrophe for the Seahawks. One of the greatest games of all time ended up being at the 1-yard line, and this one actually ended up at the 1-yard line. A lot of lead changes. I believe it was 7 lead changes, which was now tied for the most this season. Of course, the Steelers and Cowboys game today also had 7 lead changes. That game was absolutely fantastic, and so was this one. Basically, what it ended up being was, I think it was just bad play calling. I think what ended up happening was the Patriots, of course, were trying to do their offensive thing. Their offense is one of the best in football, of course. I think right then with them and the Cowboys are really the 2 teams that have the offensive systems going for them in spectacular fashion. And Brady, say what you want about him, but he's the best quarterback of all time. He just knows how to throw football better than anybody else. He's so good at getting accurate plays. I think it's just the way that it was set up in the defensive stats. The defensive setup. It wasn't what it needed to be. You got the Seahawks offense, of course. They're booming. They're getting their gang back together. I think the Seahawks team has been now re-energized. We always look at it. They pulled up a stat tonight on Sunday Night Football, the NBC crew. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Russell Wilson's record in September and October is 21-14 and 2. 21-14 and 2, if I believe I'm correct. And then he's 29-6 in November and December. He's really good in those last 2 seasons. So I think he just has a switch where he just turns it on. He's like, bro, we need to stop this. And they got their energy back. Russell Wilson has the offense going. They didn't really have a running game. They got Prosise in tonight, and he did a really good job trying to lead the group. Of course, with Christine Michael not really being the running back that they need. They got Doug Baldwin, of course, a fantastic receiver. 3 touchdowns tonight. Graham is back in it. I think that offense is re-energized. Of course, I think it just came down to who had the better things going for them. Where it was the Patriots offense and the Seahawks defense, it was really interesting to see how they were going to line up, how they were going to do things, how Brady was going to bring the game to the defense. And I thought for the most part, he did a really good job. I mean, look at the numbers. 23-32 and 316 yards. Although he didn't have a touchdown, he gave off the ball to Legarrette Blount, just kind of scored for that point. So you got to give a lot of credit to Brady. Of course, he did a really good job against the Seahawks defense the last time he played. it was just I think it was the defense of the Patriots that let them down. Because obviously we know how good the offense is. We know how good Seahawks defense is. We know how good the Seahawks offense is. It's that one key piece. It's the defense. And they just weren't able to pick it up on the Seahawks. They weren't able to stop the Seahawks. Doug Baldwin caught a touchdown with a little more than 2 minutes left. And what ended up happening was on the last drive, Patriots went down the field. It was a little more than 2 minutes, like 3 minutes. Patriots went down the field. They did their normal execution. They played Patriots football. They were driving down the field. You know, you had your guys. You had Edelman in key situations. Bennett was a good receiver tonight. You had your certain people to throw to. And they got to the 2-yard line. First and goal at the 2, right? How many times have we seen what happened the last time these two played, and it ended up being at the 1-yard line, You got to give a lot of credit to the Seahawks goal line stand defense. They stopped the run on first down, and they stopped it on first down. The jump by Legarrette Blount we thought was going to be the 1, and then they forced it to 4th down, 4th and goal at the 2, then became the 1. It became interesting because it was like, how are they going to line this up? How are they going to set up this key play? And on 4th down, they ended up going to Gronkowski, Cam Chancellor. Fantastic defense on that stand alone. He stopped Legarrette Blount, a diving Legarrette Blount, from getting into the end zone the first time and going into overtime. And then on the throw to Gronkowski, just great defense to stop him, to hold him down. There was a lot of contact between both of them, so it wasn't that controversial of a call. At first I thought, I was like, ugh, that's a little iffy, but it's just both of them were kind of tussling it out on each other. So great goal line defense by the Seahawks. We've seen it before the season, and we saw it again tonight. The Seahawks defense is ready to put in some work. Of course, the last time they played on primetime football on Sunday was a couple weeks ago against the Cardinals, and although their offense didn't really show up, the defense was fantastic. 6 points. That's pretty good. You know what I mean? And they're finding their rhythm. They're finally getting it done. And I know they were in Foxborough tonight and not in Seattle. So that was the key thing coming into this game that I was a little bit worried about. I was like, are the Seahawks going to travel well to the Gillette Stadium? I didn't really know. And they did a really good job. I think you still have to give a lot of credit to the Patriots. Their offense is really good. I think it's that defense that is not especially great. There are some key factors in there that are not, Rob Ninkovich, coming back from the suspension, hasn't played as well as he should, as well as he's been expected to, and that's a key factor. There's just certain guys. I've never really thought the Patriots defense was all that spectacular. They were kind of middle of the pack, maybe getting into the top 10, but right now they are very in the middle of the pack. And the Seahawks offense with Russell Wilson, what he was able to do was lead the team. He led the team to a really, really convincing victory. Like, it wasn't a blowout or anything, but he did what he needed to do in order to pick up a victory for the Seahawks. And now, all of a sudden, 6-2-1 for the Seahawks. They are looking to try to do something. They're looking to make their stay. I think they will win their division. I believe they'll win the NFC West. Because you have the Cardinals 4-4-1. They're 2 games behind. They do play the Seahawks one more time. However, I don't think, even if they do pick up that victory, they're going to be able to catch them up. So I think they'll win the division probably as a 3 seed. Because you have the Cowboys in the NFC East. They'll be number 1. Number 2, I'm trying to think if there's any thing going on in the other 2 divisions they might be. I'm going to say they're going to be 3rd in there. The NFC North is going to be really, really difficult. And they won't be 4th because they have Atlanta. Well, Atlanta is still in there. They've lost the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll see how that goes. But the Seahawks are at least going to get a position in the playoffs this year. And we'll talk about that when the playoffs come around. I'll make my predictions. Last year's predictions were absolutely fantastic. And I love when you guys checked out that video. So this one will be great as well. But yeah, the Seahawks are running in it. New England, of course, they're tied for the best record in the AFC. You got Oakland, Kansas City, and New England right in the running for the best record. So that's going to be really interesting with this loss. Cowboys had the best record in football. So a lot of things are going down. A lot of things are coming into it. We're in Week 10. We're about to finish Week 10. And a lot of things could change with this particular game. Like, this game could change the course for both teams. We don't really know. We don't really know with the playoff standings. It could change a lot of things. We'll see how it goes. Comment below your thoughts on tonight's game. Who's the best team in football? What do you got going on for predictions with the last 6 weeks of football left to be remained? Of course, subscribe to the Bottom Line View if you've not already for the best sports and wrestling content in the world. It's Dylan from the Bottom Line View. Peace.